Welcome, guys, to part 2 of the Eminem movie that me and Jamin are concocting. This is part 2 and the season finale of season 3 of the Metabolism Men. In part 1, we discussed our personal picks for the cast of the Eminem movie. That being red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and brown. And our picks were, I'll let you say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny DeVito as red, John Cena as yellow, Sabrina Carpenter as green, Steve Buscemi as orange, John Mulaney as blue, Kimberly Brooks as brown.
Yes. And so we weren't actually like planning on part 1 being as long as it was. We were like expecting to kind of like cover that in like 10 minutes, but obviously it got a little off the rails a little bit. So part 2, which we are now doing, will be where we now discuss the plot for said movie. So we have the voice actors, we have the characters, we have it all worked out. So now I'm gonna let Jamin kick things off with his ideas for what this easily $3 billion movie should be. Not that that's the budget, but that's like what it would make.
What it would make, yes. So, so what we're going to be doing, talking about, is the actual story of this phenomenal movie that'll make 10 kajillion more $billion at the box office.
Eminem million.
Oh yeah, that's a bar.
10
actually.
Eminem
million. Wow. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing. I read off the cast, and right off the bat, I would just like to say that the style of the movie. So we're going to be talking about a couple different things, right? We're going to be talking about the style of which the movie will be presented, right? And by style, I mean how the movie's going to look, its overall kind of vibe, and even down to its rating, And all these things are important because then once we set the tone for the style, then we can actually set the tone for, everything else as well. So with all that being said, the style aspect, I believe, is obviously very important because this is what will help establish the main demographic of the movie, which, would play into how much it would make, honestly. So when you look at the Eminem commercials, as we did earlier, they weren't really for children. You know what I mean? The M&Ms in general, with them being animated characters, would definitely attract, a lot of kids. They might think it's funny.
Yeah. There were definitely a lot of like adult jokes and themes in those commercials. Like it was not exactly always family friendly.
Yeah. Well, I think they were always
they were family friendly. They weren't inappropriate, but it wasn't like just like a straight up like it wasn't like a McDonald's commercial.
Yeah, it was. They were airing these on like national programs and like networks and stuff. So I think that is one thing I do want to be consistent, is that this movie is for everyone, the family movie, but it's not a kids movie.
Yeah, it is. It's family friendly, but it's not like
you can take your whole family to see it. But
yeah.
I feel like the older you are, the more that you'll pick up on stuff. But there will be stuff in there for kids to,
for sure,
to like gravitate to, and they really enjoy. So with that, being said, I think the perfect rating for it is R. No, the perfect rating for it would be PG for sure.
Oh yeah.
When I think of this, I kind of think about,
PG-13 Eminem's movie would be crazy.
It would be crazy. I feel like people kind of think PG and think, that it's gonna be like a kids movie, like like Madagascar or something. People forget that you can do a lot in a PG movie.
Shrek is PG, and Shrek is like Shrek is Shrek.
I mean Shrek, yeah, but I think also too, you can make movies that aren't for kids with the PG rating and still have adult themes. Not that they're like wrong or anything
like
crazy,
it's like it's
but
a
things that
mature, like
adults
mature themes.
mature themes. Marley and Me to me is an example of this. Marley and Me is not a kids movie. It was not made for children. It's a family movie. Anyone can really watch that. There are other movies as well. I kind of, even though this skewers more towards kids, I do think the Muppets movie from 2011 is really what I have in my head for the style of this movie, in the sense that, especially in 2011, kids didn't really care about the Muppets. You know, a lot of it was for adults that grew up with the Muppets, but it's still the Muppets, and kids can watch that and enjoy it. And obviously, the movie did well, and there was stuff in there that kids would enjoy, especially in the sequel, which there was a whole scene, I believe, that featured a bunch of stars that were in like Disney stuff. And I mean like Disney XD and like Channel and stuff. You had, I think, like Ross Lynch from Austin and Ally and a bunch of other, stars as well. That would be the kind of style that I would go for, with this, where primarily I think it's for everyone, but the older you are, the more you'll pick up on stuff.
Appreciate the...
But by no means is this a children's movie. It's not the Emoji Movie. It's the Eminem movie, because multiple generations have grown up with the Eminem, not only the candy, but the commercials as well.
Yeah, a lot of people will be going to see this, especially with the voice actors that we picked.
Yeah, which plays a part into the cast overall. I mean, you have people that can attract multiple different, generations and stuff. So the rating would be PG. Now, the style of which it would be like filmed and stuff,
definitely live action.
Definitely.
Just like the commercials.
Yeah.
You obviously have real humans, but then you have, the animated M&Ms.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I never wanted this to be in. I love animation. I just don't think that would fit, specifically this project. And so, it would be a live action hybrid.
Yes.
I can't spell.
Almost kind of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Literally the movie that I had in my head. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit was an example of a movie that more so of a family movie than, a kid's movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally.
So the director obviously would be the Metabolism Men.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin Scorsese and like Christopher Nolan, they might try to direct this movie, but like they don't have the proper chops to get this done. Written by Bosco. No, the Metabolism Men. Because, like, obviously. That's what we have. But jokes aside, for actual stuff, we definitely wanted this to be a live action hybrid film. More of a family movie than kids movie. And so even incorporating like meta humor. Where you can do stuff where it's very like, like tongue in cheek, and it can reference,
how much like fourth wall breaking do you think would be done in this movie?
Not a lot, but
there would be some.
Enough.
But there would be some. Yeah.
I would definitely have one in the trailer so people can, accept the tone. Now let's talk about the setting of this movie. So this will be produced by Universal, and the setting, they're going to be in Hollywood. And all that, good stuff. They're actors. They sign contract, and they're treated like normal people, famous people at least, And so the plot of the movie, essentially what I had, like so far, is that everything's cool for the first like 20 decades or so, and they're living a good life, and they're filming and they're doing all that stuff. But then they find out that they're being replaced by animated characters. And so the studio is doing this to save money, and they are now, forced to find other jobs. And there are some characters that are okay with this, like change, and there are others that are struggling with this. So my question for you is, where do you think each character is kind of landing? They try to find other jobs, right?
So, like, what kind of jobs do you think they're kind of
going for this, like, portion where they, like, split up? You know what I mean?
So, there's a lot of commercials, actually, like, the moment you say there's a lot of commercials that come to mind where, like, especially, like, a lot of the earlier ones where Red and Yellow are almost kind of like, they're not picking up odd jobs, but, like, don't you recall seeing them doing a lot of different things? They were kind of, like, almost had, like little like side hustles. That was kind of like their thing. So I could definitely see and that's where the red and yellow duo part come in, because they're kind of like the duo. They come in, they're together.
I do kind of see them as like roommates. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do see there being like little scenes where like red and yellow are separate from each other, and they're kind of doing like their own thing. But then they almost kind of realize that like they work better if they're together.
Mm-hmm.
Like they almost kind of have like that kind of moment, where that cliche moment where it's like maybe they almost have like a falling out, but it's like, hey, you know what? Actually, we need to work together on this, and that doesn't have to be that long. That doesn't have to take up that much, runtime in the movie. But just like a thing like that, and they're like the odd jobs, like trying to make ends meet type of like roommate apartment roommates.
So I think that,
and a lot of banter could come in that.
A lot of banter.
There's a lot of humor there.
Yeah, a lot of people know them as the duo, so they have to spend a lot of time.
Because reminder, we have Danny DeVito and John Cena as our picks, so that's where a lot of that synergy and the communication, that banter could come in. That could be really
to make things really easier. I think that Green is obviously an actor. Matter of fact, I have it in my head that
she's canonically an actor in the commercials.
Exactly. So I have it in my head actually that after a while she became like the most like famous Eminem, and so she starts to get all these deals in movies and stuff like that, and a lot of like actual actresses. You see like Scarlett Johansson like makes a cameo or something, and she's mad that this Eminem is getting like more roles than her basically. And so, but somehow it still works because that's just kind of the universe that this movie takes place in.
Yeah.
And so so I actually even have it in my head where what happens is she leaves the M&Ms after a while before all this even goes down, because she thinks she's like so good in Hollywood.
She's already on her own.
She's on her own, and she's appearing in movies. She doesn't have time to appear in commercials anymore, which is a reference to, I believe, one of the earlier commercials. And to make things even more official, she got the M removed from her.
Ooh, so she's like trying to make a statement. She's like
trying to make it. I'm not an Eminem. I'm just my own person. She even has like a fake name now. Like, so she comes up with a whole name. Like, it's not Green. Like,
it's
maybe
Miss Green.
Like, maybe her like last name is Green, or her first name is gonna be like Lisa or something.
Like Lisa Green. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's trying to come up with her own identity. She's trying to move on, but it's easier for her when.
But the first name should start with an M though. Should be like Molly Green.
Not Molly Green, sure, yeah.
You know?
Well, no, because she got it removed. So she doesn't want anything to have to do with M's. Like, she hates the letter M.
She hates the letter M. Okay.
Because everything she's here and like M this, M that.
So she wants to be her own person. Hates M. So it's like, what's the exact opposite of an M? An N.
N.
So like,
yeah. So her name's like Natasha or something.
Natasha Green.
Natasha Green.
Okay,
there we go. So
not that important.
Yeah, this is why the last one was like 2 hours long.
Yeah. We're gonna spend like 2 hours talking about who the Green M&M's name would be.
Yeah.
In the movie.
So we have this, right? We have like Mrs. Green, or like Green, whatever, and she's an actor and she's doing her own thing.
Natasha Green.
Hearing all this stuff that happens to the other M&Ms, although she doesn't like hate them or anything, she's just like, whatever, I've already moved on. And so I think that like change is going to be like a huge aspect of this.
And she definitely at some point in the movie has like a falling off point where like she thinks she's on top and then she like hits rock bottom.
Yeah.
And then she has like a change of character, like a change of heart type of moment.
Yeah. Where she realizes that those other people are
they matter.
They're like her only friends. The only people that truly care about her.
Those are like her family. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though she thinks that it's great to be hanging out with like Zendaya and all those other stars.
The humans, she realizes the human like they don't really care. They're kind of like using her.
Yeah.
But like the M&Ms are like her actual friends, actual family.
Her actual family, literally. They're all, even they can kind of be, like brothers and sisters in a way. So,
or like cousins.
Yeah. So
brother and sisters is better.
Now the orange one, him being all like nervous and stuff, I could honestly see him trying to pick up a job where he doesn't have to deal with like anyone.
Yeah.
Like,
by the way, you have to change those. Like all those.
What did I do?
Oh, those are your picks.
I'm on the wrong one actually. So yeah, we gotta go over here. So yeah, so she's an actor, right? And then so orange, I think, can kind of just do whatever. I feel I have plans for blue, I believe.
Orange, I could low-key see being the one where like he's always worried about stuff and he's always worried about things not going right. But throughout the course of the movie, things actually keep going right for him.
I think he's
like
the only one where he like truly benefits like from this change. Like he's like where like everyone's, but then like
everybody's like in shambles, life's falling apart, but he's the one that like by the end of the movie, he's like sitting in like a penthouse with like, you know,
he's like an influencer or something.
Yes.
That is like just world famous.
Yeah.
And so
he's definitely that character.
He's adapted very well. And you know, now Blue,
and then by the end of the movie, he's like back. He like once that all goes away, he's like back to his like worried self. Like, just like, you know, the way he started.
I think that Brown just works out in Office.
Yeah, she's definitely like Office lady.
And I think she's trying to be successful, but I think she also kind of realizes that no one really like listens to her or like takes her seriously. Not necessarily because she's an Eminem, but just because she's kind of like new or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to focus too much on Brown. Blue, I have plans for. Right? So I think that Red is the one that struggles the most when it comes to the idea that what he was made to do, he can't actually do.
He's like the most hot-headed.
He's the one that
the most prideful. Like he's like,
no, are you kidding me? I did this. I'm the star of all this. And he's trying to like struggle with this idea of change. And so him and Yellow are just kind of just like job hopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, you know, like we kind of see that in the original.
Yeah, it literally all fits. Like her Green being an actor, it all fits.
Yeah, so
and Brown is presented as like Office, like she's lit at all. It makes sense.
And so she's doing like they're doing like a whole bunch of other jobs, and you know, they're trying to do like all this stuff. And then so one thing I definitely wanted to also establish is that like I would like to have cameos from other like mascots.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they would be like really important, but like maybe like Green is doing like, what's it called? Like an audition for a movie role, and you see like, I don't know, like Wendy, you know, is there. Like literally Wendy's is there.
Yeah.
So like just have that, you know, kind of thing would be cool to see like other cameos, especially because Mars actually they literally like last year they purchased the rights to a whole bunch of stuff, including Kellogg's. So
I can definitely see there being like other Mars candies in there.
Yeah, other Mars candies, and then also too like just like scenes in Hollywood where the other characters just like walking, you know, behind them. You can have like a lot of fun with that. But for Red and Yellow, they're struggling to change, and so they're always kind of just, you know, like job hopping, and there's a bit of just like a time jump, and so all of their money has just like run out basically, and they're living in like a crummy apartment.
I could see Blue being the one that does a lot of like under the table type stuff. He's like the one that's like, he's like the most clever. He's the smartest one.
So this is where my thing with Blue kind of comes in though.
Okay. So is this going to be like plot central? Is he going to be central to the plot?
He is, yeah.
Blue's going to be like...
So...
Okay, go ahead.
There's a time jump. Everything happens, right? They're all just living their own lives. And then at some point, they hear that Blue has been kidnapped. Or he's like gone. He's just gone. He's went missing basically. Maybe they try to have a reunion with everyone where it's been like a year like since they stopped, you know, being I guess like mascots, and they have a reunion and they're trying to get everyone back, and while they're all there, just like, wait a minute,
where's Blue?
Yeah, where's Blue? And so they find out somehow they find out that he's been kidnapped and he actually has been missing. They don't know where he is. He's not posting on social media or anything. He's just gone. They try to call him, he's gone. They have to now team up to try to figure out what happened to Blue. And it gets revealed that Blue, the missing or the disappearance of Blue is connected to why they are no longer like actors or whatever. And I think it gets kind of revealed that the villain is a black and white Eminem, or some sort of Eminem that was like
that doesn't exist.
Like
there is no like, because there are no black and white Eminem.
Because it failed, and so he's extremely bitter, and he kidnaps, or he or she kidnaps Blue because of the fact that Blue was created to take like their spot after they failed. If that makes sense. So he's specifically jealous of Blue. Like, you're the reason why I'm
we were shafted, yeah.
And so I believe
blacklisted. That's perfect wording too.
Yeah.
Whitelisted? What does whitelisted mean?
Probably something illegal. Just sounds crazy. Whitelisting.
We were black and whitelisted.
Yeah. I don't know. So like I'm not married to the idea of it being like a black and white thing, but it has to be a thing that I feel like maybe they tried to make like an M&M like raisin or something.
Yeah, something
like an M&M raisin that just like did not catch on.
Yeah,
you know,
a failed M&M.
A failed M&M. That's the point. It doesn't matter what it is.
But I do think black and white though is pretty good
because like yin and yang or whatever. Like you can kind of do that whole thing. Yeah. So like it's a failed version of the M&M, and ever since they agreed to like not like use him in anything, he kind of felt, I guess, like an outsider, and so he started to grow this hatred towards the M&Ms, especially Blue. And so ever since then, he hasn't been able to let go of the past. And so he's been trying to, like, I don't know what exactly he's been doing, but like underground, he's been like, I don't know, like hustling to make like mad money. So he can then like buy.
By doing a lot of like undercover,
just like some stuff,
under the table.
To like buy the rights to, I guess, the Mars like company to kick the M&Ms out of the job.
And once all the M&Ms realize this and realize what he's actually been doing, and after they've all teamed up to kind of get Blue back and eventually kind of figure this whole thing out, that's what ends up bringing them back together. Because in this whole, like, meanwhile, like, they've all kind of had their falling outs and like, I don't mess with you anymore. Yeah. But then this is what kind of reunites everybody.
It reunites them because of the fact that it's Blue. And so...
And Blue could be the one that everybody almost kind of dislikes. Like, because Blue's the one, like, Blue's kind of like solo. Like, Blue's the solo one. Green's kind of solo, but like, Blue's the one that, like, I don't think anybody messes with, because he's kind of the one that's like, even before any of this happened, he was the one that was always like, I'm doing, like, not in the same way that Green was, but how am I trying to say this? Like
I can see what you're saying.
Like, he's always kind of had his own thing going on, and he's like the one that kind of disagrees with everybody, but then everybody realizes in the end that this is what Blue's actually been doing. He saved us. And you know what I mean? Like,
I kind of view it in the sense that they are all kind of siblings. And so even they're not going to necessarily like, refer themselves as like brother and sister, because that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But they are like, there definitely is like a thing where it's just like, even if you get on my nerves, you're kind of all I know for like a long time. And
he's more so the one that like
I don't really view Blue as a person that like nobody
dislikes
per se. But I think that like, they kind of view Blue in a way where it's just like, really, like, he's the one that got kidnapped. Now I'm a little like nervous, like what's like going on? Because like, I don't know, like I just
like why would they kidnap Blue?
Because that is their sibling, so obviously they care. And I think especially with Green, like she's kind of just like nonchalant about it, like it's just Blue, like But even she just kind of like comes around, is like, all right, we'll see. But she kind of views like this mission as like a one-time thing. Like we're back, but only to save Blue because that's our brother. But
that's what ends up getting her to reconvert. Like, okay, like,
and that's when she, I guess, like realizes like, wow,
how
important everyone else is, and those people that she's hanging with and like rubbing elbows with or whatever. Like, they may be like famous or whatever, but even though there's not really like a racial discrimination thing between them.
There's definitely a moment. There's definitely a scene or a moment at some point. Like she definitely has a moment in the movie where like some type of interaction or relationship between her and a human or humans like goes wrong, or they do something to like backstab her, or like they do something that she's like, wait a minute, like that's messed up. That's not right. You shouldn't be treating me that way, or something.
And that's
where she starts to lose her trust in humans. And that happens around the same time that they're like having this whole team up to save Blue. So those things kind of coincide with each other, and that's what gives her the push to be like, okay, I'm back with like the M&Ms now.
And she kind of realizes that like Yeah, exactly. Those aren't her true friends.
Yeah.
This is her family. And so not only was she consider, you know, like going back to help and like save Blue, but also she'll at the end of the movie she'll I guess like rejoin and try to, you know, and I think actually what ends up happening. So here's how I want everything to kind of like wrap up, right? After they take down, let's say that it is like black and white. Let's say that this like failed Eminem, however they take whoever it is down, they decide like, okay, well, we want to be together all again, but how do we, you know, do that if we don't own the rights to make more like Eminem commercials?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like one of the things that they could do is, remember we were talking about Orange, how he's like an influencer now. Actually, let me write that down.
Yeah, and then Orange ends up being the one. He's the one that ends up buying the rights. Yes,
buy the rights, or he can just at least like give it back because they don't have an issue like with Universal per se.
Perfect. No, because Orange starts out as the one that like, oh, nothing's going right. Like I'm worried about all of this. Like not like. I'm not confident in like anything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then he ends up legitimately, Blue's the one that ends up actually like being like the savior of like the M&Ms. Orange is the one that like carries out that last final like step.
Yeah.
Or like plan of action that like really sets everything.
And so
cements everything.
That way everyone can really be involved. Now Brown is the interesting one. I'm trying to figure out how to exactly
because in all this we didn't really talk about Brown that much. So she could be like she almost could be like the Catwoman. Like she's like on the sidelines. She's doing all the sly like kind of like how am I trying to like how do I say that? Hear me out. Brown has like her own like B plot.
Okay.
So she has like her own like most of the scenes kind of deal like all of the M&Ms kind of have like the A plot, like they kind of have their own plot. Like red, yellow, green, orange, and blue share an A plot, but then Brown is the one that has like a B plot.
I think it's because she was the one that was closest with Blue.
Exactly. And so now we just need to figure out what is Brown actually doing.
And I think that it is Brown that like manages to like reunite everyone. And in a sense, because she's the one that finds out that like Blue is gone. So she found, that's how they all find out.
Yeah, she reunites because remember you said like, oh, somehow they find out he's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
They find out because of Brown.
Yeah.
And so she's like the coordinator.
Yeah.
So but what else is she doing on the sidelines?
So I think that I'm with you with the whole thing that she's like
has her own kind of B plot.
But I think she's also like mad like good with like technology and stuff. Like she can like hack stuff. She's like
the tech nerd kind of like.
Yeah, I think she's like really good with that stuff. So she's smart. She's not like the leader per se, but she's
got the smarts. She's the smart.
Yeah, she's a smart one
for sure. She's like the super serious, stern one too. Like she's not funny at all. Like she's not funny at all. She's like the smart one, and she takes everything serious. She's like no, it's no time for like jokes.
And I think that maybe Blue and Brown were the closest because maybe they started to appear in the commercials around the same time.
No, not at all.
What?
Blue is like literally like appear. He was like.
I'm just saying, like in the movie.
Okay. Movie, though. Like, because I was gonna say in the commercials.
No, not in the commercial. But
red, yellow, and blue were like the first ones.
Yeah, no, they were the first ones. I think that like Blue and Brown, like there has to be some sort of connection between them.
No, yeah, and that's like one of the things the movie can just kind of create. Like that's something they can explain. Yeah. Like that they had a relationship, like not like a relationship.
Yeah,
but maybe they did. I don't know.
I feel no
because Blue and Green had the relationship.
No, I don't need any of them. I need they're all siblings. That's the thing that
I know, but you said earlier that like maybe Blue had a relationship with Green. I don't know, but and then you did say that.
Not a relationship. I was saying that they were like roommates or something.
Blue and Green? Blue and Green.
Oh, Blue and Green.
I'm talking about Blue and Green because I remember.
I did mention that. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about like Brown.
No. Like
Okay, that's true. Yeah, I don't like the idea of any of them actually like being in like a thing. Like I don't know. The more that I give a thought, I think it's great because I think the whole like I guess like theme of the movie should kind of just be like family.
Yeah, there shouldn't be like any romance theme.
And no matter how far apart you guys might be, like like family is still like really important. And I think that Green specifically, especially if we're gonna spend money to get Sabrina Carpenter in it, she's kind of like the thing that's just like like family is important, and you shouldn't always try to just like you can always do your own thing, but you got to keep it still. Yeah. And then so like you can see her get like the M like back at the end of the movie.
Yeah, she gets like a new M painted on her, or however it works.
However the physics in this movie works.
Yeah, however Eminem's anatomy is.
Now specifically with black and white though.
Okay.
What are we gonna do? So I think she kidnaps Blue because Blue, I guess, maybe took.
Oh, it's a she.
I'll just say they because I don't know who it's gonna be.
I mean, I was just gonna assume black and white are both dudes. That's just kind of the picture I had.
Do you want to do like
white almost has like the pompous personality. He's like the.
So do they have split? Split
personalities.
I always had it in my head that like black and white were of the same character, like it's half and half.
So
like it's just like they tried to make like a flavor and it just like went wrong.
So I actually, when you were talking about it, I did have that mental thought of like having like half down the middle.
Yeah.
But
let me make sure it's not a real thing.
Actually, black and white M&Ms, I think they did exist at one point, didn't they? Like a limited edition. I actually feel like they do exist.
But they're not half and half.
He does exist.
He does exist.
Hopefully somebody got that M&M reference.
Man. I didn't realize that.
I do remember that. No, but that makes it even better though. But no, because they weren't. Well, no, but they weren't successful though, right?
These are
they don't exist anymore, right?
I don't think these are M&Ms.
They are M&Ms.
No, but like, look,
no, but like, go back and search up like.
So they kind of is, but they were like a Halloween thing.
But they still existed.
It was black, white, and orange. And orange is a character in this, isn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But black and white M&Ms on their own never worked out. See, when you said black and white, I always was picturing like a black M&M and a white M&M, and they were like
team. Okay.
Yeah, and white.
And nobody liked them because they weren't colorful. They were.
They're like the boring. People looked at them as like the sad boring. Like they're not colorful. They're boring. They're not, and they're salty over that. And white is like, I almost kind of view white as like having like he's like, and because of the fact they're black and white, they have like polar opposite personalities, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of like split personality. So like white is like he's almost kind of got this like wealthy, like I'm on top of this, like pompous kind of like, like attitude.
Yeah.
And then black has like, like they're almost kind of always disagreeing with each other, but they always agree with each other just enough to actually get stuff done.
Yeah.
So, because like they have a common goal. Like they're both like,
I wonder if there are any failed M&M flavors, like actually. But also one of the reasons why I remember, because I told you like I had an idea, but then I stopped myself. I feel like you almost have to create a new character because of the fact that that's a whole new like bag that they can sell in real life.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I think you have
I really like the concept of the black and white though.
The white could be vanilla, I guess. And then what's black though? Like, is it just dark chocolate? Like, I don't know what flavor black could be.
Vanilla. I was gonna say vanilla.
Cookies and cream?
I was gonna say vanilla and chocolate M&Ms, but it's like chocolate.
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay.
But why would that fail though? That's my thing. Like, is it because cookies and cream?
So we need to come up with a reason why cookies and cream would fail in the movie, because I actually think that's a flavor that doesn't exist yet. They could sell for the movie.
Does it?
And the colors match up. Cookies and cream.
Oh my gosh! Please don't exist. Oh, they do exist.
That's the second time we said they do exist in this episode.
Where are we quoting that from?
From the M&M commercial.
Oh yeah, they do exist. Oh,
every single time we pick up a new flavor, they do exist. Yeah.
Ah man, I kind of rock with the raisin one, just because it's so stupid.
Like just like one singular rate, like a what?
Like they tried
an M&M with a raisin in it.
They tried it and it failed because this is a stupid idea. They got like really caught. Like I don't think. there's no universe where a cookies and cream M&M would fail. That sounds amazing, and you know, it's a thing.
And so if it's like a raisin M&M, his character design then is he's like like the bottom half of him is an M&M, and the top half is like his face is on the raisin, like he's like half the upper half is a raisin,
like
kind of like the raisin coming out of the M&M.
Okay, but like the bottom would be like the actual.
Is the M&M, yeah.
And
like the top half is cracked open. Like
let me make sure that
if these exist.
Dude, if these actually exist, I can't spell raisin M&Ms.
In trail mixes they do, but not. Wait,
dark chocolate peanut. No, we're good.
Okay, I was about to say.
Cause yeah, you know what? I think the raisin thing low key works because of the fact that you have the peanut M&Ms, you have the pretzel M&Ms,
peanut pretzel.
And then like raisin, like chocolate raisin is a thing in like cookies, I guess. But like
true.
So like I think the raisin M&Ms, but like there's not necessarily a color for that though. Like what color? Like brown is.
What color would the I was gonna say purple, but there is a purple M&M now.
There is, yeah. Maybe
like
burgundy.
A burgundy,
like dark red. And the reason why it didn't work isn't just because of the fact that that's the character's name, like dark red or something. He did not like that idea.
Because the main character is called Red.
That's why I kind of had it in my head.
Red?
Yeah, like red and dark red. And so they were just like the reason why it failed is because of the fact that it's like it's too similar to red. And also it just stinks.
And the idea of it is it's just horrible.
Yeah.
And so he almost kind of has like a personal vendetta against Red too. Like he almost has.
So is Red the one that gets?
With Red.
Is Red the one that gets? Nah, because Red's too important. So maybe we don't.
No, we already locked in the blue storyline, I think.
So maybe it's like indigo. Like what's the color that's close to blue?
Indigo. And him kidnapping Blue, they're like almost the same color. And that's why wait, hear me out. Because hear me out. Because remember, he hates Blue because Blue is the one that they created to surpass him.
That's right, yeah.
And he's the same color. Like Blue, they created Blue to replace the raisin M&M idea. Basically, all they did was keep the same color but remove the raisin. And so that's why he hates Blue, because
I like that.
He's like the better version. Like they kept the color, they altered it a little bit. Like they made it more vibrant, like a more vibrant blue.
He was the original blue.
Indigo is like the darker blue. They made him a more vibrant blue, took out the raisin.
But see, then you can actually like sell those though. Because
why not?
If the whole idea is that the reason why it didn't catch on is because that like raisin M&Ms are a horrible idea, you can't then tell people go buy raisin M&Ms. You know? So,
but wasn't the whole idea that like they could sell? I mean, we're trying to make the idea, we have two conflicting ideas right now, because the whole idea of the plot is that the villain is a failed M&M product.
Yes.
But we're also trying to say that it should be something that they could resell.
We don't have to do that thing. It was just an idea that I had in my head, and maybe at the end they can like. Because I don't think the character's gonna like die or anything.
Okay.
Like maybe because the idea is that like theme and like family is so important and stuff.
And I think a raisin M&M is a safe choice as like a failed M&M product, because like you know nobody's gonna want that anyway. Yeah. So like that's a safe pick. Like that's never gonna happen. So, but it's not too crazy, like, because a raisin is like like raisin like a trail mix has that combination. Yeah. But within an M&M. Nobody wants like a soggy, like you bite into an M&M, not soggy, but it's like chewy.
It's a horrible idea.
Like nobody wants a chewy M&M.
Yeah.
You want a crunchy M&M.
Yeah.
Crispy.
This is and remember because like one of them is a pretzel, one of them is like a peanut or whatever. So they all have their own thing.
Yellow, orange.
And so after they were just like, what if we came up with? So maybe we should do it where all of them.
There's like a board meeting. Like all the humans have a board meeting, and they show the origin story of the raisin. They're like, okay, what if we do a raisin next? Yeah, and then it shows his whole origin story. Yeah, how he became like evil. He's like, argh.
I think all of them were created around the same time, but they slowly started to introduce them in the commercials as it like went on. But then, before they were really supposed to introduce the raisin M&M, that's when they scrapped the idea of it and just went with like a normal blue, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So I think we got make sure it's still recording.
Not recorded. So where are we at? Yes.
40 minutes?
We're like at an hour.
Are we actually?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the fun part about all this is if an Eminem movie does come out, to see how similar it is to what we came up with.
Yeah. So, in detail, to wrap everything out, to lay out the entire plot, the M&Ms are people that appear in commercials advertising actual M&Ms. They have a great run, but then at some point they find out they're being replaced by cheaper animated characters.
Yeah, so they're being replaced by animators who are basically just animating the commercials now instead of actually having the real sentient M&Ms star in them.
You think we should attempt to touch the whole AI debate, or we should just leave that alone?
Wait, what?
Maybe they're replaced by AI, or you want to leave that alone?
Because I would leave that alone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even get into that. I would just keep it animation.
We'll keep it safe. We'll keep it. Yeah. Okay.
No, because animation makes more sense too. Because the whole idea is they're actual actors. It's like live action being replaced by just animation. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
AI is a whole other thing. That's a whole.
Well, I was thinking AI animation for it, but yeah.
That's a whole different social. That's a whole social commentary.
Social commentary thing.
That's gonna sour it.
So they find out they're being replaced
because a lot of people are also very simple. So if people just hear the fact that AI is involved with this movie at all, a lot of people don't think about that deeply. A lot of people are going to hear that AI is in this movie somehow, and they're just not even going to watch. People feel that strongly about it, so shouldn't be involved.
Yeah,
but I appreciate the thought.
Yeah. So let's say that some time has passed. We'll say, how long do you think this time jump should be? A year?
A year.
All right.
A year's fair. A year later.
Say. A year later, we see them try to find new jobs, and it's met with varying results. Whatever. And so what was it? It was red and yellow try everything.
They're the odd jobs. They're roommates. And
then green is an actor.
Yeah.
And she has her own little thing going on.
She gets rid of the M. She's she's kind of not the rebel, but she's kind of the rogue.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Orange is an influencer.
He becomes.
What does he do?
He becomes an influencer over the course of the movie. Yeah. So
he starts out after the time jump, he's just he's balling now.
He starts out thinking he's the most worrisome, nothing's going right, but then over the course of the movie, everything goes right for him.
Yeah, exactly. He's the only one that consistently doesn't have a problem with his job. And matter of fact, it's because of that.
He's the most lucky. He's the most lucky. He practically is just having people knock on his door and is hey, you want to do this and that, and he's go.
So he's loaded, right? He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
one of those scenes where it just kind of pans in on him. He's then on this chair. He's surrounded by a bunch of people. He has these stacks of money. He's
yeah. But I don't think he's a jerk or anything now. Yeah. And then so Blue is the one, obviously. I gets kidnapped because Raisin M&M or Indigo,
Blue was created as the replacement or ended up being successful version of the failed Raisin M&M idea.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And then Brown works at an office, but she has a very close relationship with Blue.
She has a history with him.
I don't think there needs to be much of an explanation other than the fact that they're if you have a group of all these siblings. Yeah. There are going to be people that are closer than others.
Yeah, so Blue and Brown have a history.
They have history. They're just close with each other, for real.
They're just tight like that.
And so it's when
she's the tech nerd. She's the smart one.
Yeah. And then so once they find out that Blue is the one that is kidnapped, they all temporarily leave their individual jobs and come together. Because the fact that Blue is kidnapped by, are we committing to the Indigo thing? Are we going to call him Indigo?
That would be a good name for him. Yeah, Indigo.
Now the question is,
and that's a good name for a villain, isn't it? Because isn't there a word that's similar to that, Indigo?
I'm not sure. But now the question is, who's playing Indigo?
Ooh.
It's got to be someone who can do like a villain. And is Indigo a boy or a girl? I'm gonna assume boy.
I would say Christopher Lee, but
Christopher Lee.
yeah.
Christopher Lee. Am I tripping? Like, is that the dude who was in Back to the Future? No. Oh, he died. That was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know he's dead now, but
okay.
Yeah.
Who should we?
But he would have been a fire. He would have been a fire pick if he was still alive, though.
And we need someone with like a villainous voice, like. So it's a dude. Are we committing to the fact that it's a dude? Okay, it's a dude, and
who's like a good who's like a voice actor that always be voicing villains like that? Like who's like a iconic villain voice?
James Earl Jones is dead, I think. Yeah.
All the good villain voice actors are all dead, man.
Yeah. Let me look up like villain voice actors.
I'm sure. Yeah, we didn't think about this one. Because we just came up. We're just coming up with this on the fly. So.
Mark Hamill. Easy. Mark Hamill. I'm cool with Mark Hamill. We're just gonna go with Mark Hamill. Yeah. I think that's great. He can do like
I feel like a super deep, like serious voice would be too boring.
It would be. I think you gotta do like a Mark Hamill kind of thing. And he can do like the crazy, because that's Indigo singing. Like he's crazy, right?
Yeah, so like the Raisin Eminem, he's like a wild card, he's crazy.
Yeah. So then they team up. So Brown reunites everyone and says that Blue has gone missing, and they have to try to find a way to get him back. They find out that Indigo is the one that kidnapped him, and we're not going to go into how they obviously like take everything down. Throughout the entire movie, we see not just cameos from other like mascots, but other like actors and stuff as well, like sports stars. It's one of those kind of movies. It's truly an event movie. Yeah, I want this to be like a prime release date, right smack in the middle of like August or something, so we can do that. And then afterwards, now the resolution of the Indigo character.
Becomes, so there's usually two conventional endings for a villain in a movie, like two, cliche endings, right? One is, he has a change of heart by the end of it, and all the M&Ms kind of accept him into their world, and like, you know what? You're one of us. Like he's like, oh, I'm not one of you. I'm a failure. I'm this. I'm that. I'll never be like one of you. But then by the end, he's like, he's accepted, and they're like, no, you are one of us, and he's treated like normal. Or does he just to the grave? Does he like just take that to the grave and he never changes? And he's like, you know what? I'll never be one of you. I'll never be like an Eminem. I'll never be like a real. And he just like. I don't know how you would show like a death of an Eminem in a movie. They could probably be creative with that somehow. Like he gets eaten or something by like a cat or whatever. But like that'd be a pretty big cat.
Yeah, I was about to say, what kind of cat's gonna be eaten?
A bear or something. But like anyway,
he drowns in the Kool-Aid Man.
That would be a crazy. Wait a minute, think about it though. That would be a crazy ending. That would be great. That's how you get that sponsor, like a cameo from the Kool-Aid Man.
You ready? So what happens is after the Kool-Aid Man accidentally drowns him, he goes, "Oh no!" Because his catchphrase is, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, and then the credits just roll. It's like that would be the best. Yeah.
Oh, and then so it ends right. So Indigo, however, he became like mad rich, and so I think. At first, we don't know who the villain is, and so he uses like a human
persona, some type of persona.
Yeah, so like an actual actor, Andrew Garfield. I don't know. Uses a guy to just like do all of like the business stuff. Yeah, exactly. And so we don't find out that it's Indigo until later. So Indigo is like mad rich. He can hire like a whole bunch of people, right?
Yeah.
And so now they're kind of confused. Like, okay, well, Universal they sold the rights to another company. So how are we going to continue doing M&M stuff? And so that's when Orange comes in and says, "Oh, I'm rich," and then so and
that's how he uses his wealth like to his advantage.
And so, but do they buy their rights back so they can operate everything themselves, or do they put it back to Universal?
I think they start doing things that I think. That's a good question.
Because like Universal was never really the issue. They just a person came and offered a whole bunch of money.
So no, they definitely give it back to Universal.
Okay.
Because it wasn't yet. Indigo's a third party. Like he just messed everything up.
Yeah.
if the M&Ms shouldn't take it for themselves, because then that creates like beef between it. Like they never had a problem with humans.
Yeah.
The only one that actually had any type of awakening was Green, where she's like, oh, but that wasn't like, like universal. That's just like she had her own like little life going on.
Yeah.
And like those humans in particular, but humanity in general, she's like cool with. But she's like, oh, M&Ms are actually
yeah.
So
ultimately, everyone kind of realizes that like family is like very important, and
that's like the learning lesson by the end. That's like the moral of the story is like family is forever.
Family is forever. And so the one thing that we did forget to mention is that there's only one person that can do a song, for this movie. We did kind of mention Sabrina Carpenter doing it, but
there's only one person that could create the soundtrack for this,
and that's 50 Cent. No, of course it's Eminem. Like you got to get Eminem to do a song for this. He's got to. And I think that could really. I think this is $1 billion idea. And I think that like I might get to a point where I genuinely consider writing this movie. We'll see if I have enough time for that.
And who was the person that you said would play Vin Diesel? Play maybe like one of your picks.
It was Yellow.
It's for Yellow. And if only we had Vin Diesel, then like the family thing would really that would really hit harder. But John Cena's just better. So
I do agree that they give it back to Universal, because then that could create potentially the introduction for like Purple in the sequel. So maybe there's like a post-credit scene.
And also you definitely don't want to like make the people who are making the movie like the bad guys in the end.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to make Universal like, because then like that just makes them look bad. Like like they're not gonna do that. Like,
exactly. Like
they're gonna be the heroes. Like they're gonna be the good guys. Obviously, they're not gonna make themselves look bad.
Yeah. Because
remember, it's like meta. It's kind of meta. So they're not. It's like real life. So they're not gonna do that.
I like all this. Coming to a local theater near you, June 8th, 2028.
That's a crazy cast, bro. Danny DeVito. Let's just soak that up for a second. Danny DeVito, John Cena, Sabrina Carpenter, Steve Buscemi, John Mulaney, Kimberly Brooks, and Mark Hamill.
As the villain, yeah.
That is like an all-star cast. Bro.
All-star cast.
That's generational right there.
Kimberly Brooks.
That's definitely the wild card. They're definitely
she sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Why did y'all cheap out? Like did the budget run out? Y'all got Kimberly. Y'all probably paid her like $2. Is there another person you can?
We might as well. We might as well just look that up.
I had an idea. Do you know who Quinta Brunson is? Mm-mm. Have you heard of Abbott Elementary?
Oh yeah.
So that like the main black girl in that?
I don't. I never watched the show, so I actually don't know.
Her. She's the creator of the show, and she's like a writer and stuff like that.
And has she like voiced like?
I think she's done voice. I think she might have been in Inside Out too, and I know she was in the Harley Quinn animated show.
So what's her actual name again?
Quinta Brunson. And I say her because of the fact that she's known, but she's not like a star to the point where you got to pay her like big
But that's
bucks.
better than Kimberly Brooks, probably.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
All right, bet. Quinta Brunson.
I'm trying to make this as best as possible. Let's just go with that, bro.
Quinta Brunson.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, like it was just like
I don't know. Like after seeing
Kimberly Brooks will still be in the movie. You know how like you'll see like a cast for an animated movie and you see like a random voice actor and it just says additional voices or like girl at park.
Yeah, she'll voice one of the brown M&Ms in there.
Yeah. Why she got a voice of brown M? No, I'm kidding.
Now she voices like a completely white M&M.
And I would also like to end it with I think they all move in together. And just buy one like crazy mansion, or maybe they all move in
like a frat house.
Yeah, where they all moving together and they're all just like mad cool with each other, and like.
So post credit scene. This gotta be is Purple. So is Purple in the post credit scene, or is she not even in? Is she not in the post credit scene? She's just the new character for the next movie, but they don't reveal that until like the sequel. Advertising. So, like, is she in it or not? Because maybe the post-credit scene could be like...
I think the post-credit scene can definitely be purple. I just don't know, like...
What would you do? The Mario movie post-credit scene was literally just like a Yoshi egg.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like if they could do that, they could probably just do a purple M&M. But, like, how would they do it, though?
I think maybe what I would do is like this, right? What's her name? Brown is the hacker and stuff like that. She is, like, really into that stuff. And so... Once they find out about like Indigo, right? Because I think maybe they don't know about Indigo. Maybe somehow they don't know. maybe she's just like, okay.
Oh, she doesn't know about it.
Like no one knows about Indigo.
No one knows about it.
No one knows about Indigo. But then once they find out, like,
what do you mean no one knows?
Like they don't know about Indigo. Like the company that like made them like kept Indigo a secret because like he failed.
So who ends up knowing about it?
So I'm saying that
he's the villain.
No, well, yeah, when Indigo kidnaps like Blue, that's when it obviously becomes a thing. But even Brown isn't aware who actually kidnapped it. It's not until they actually meet and they all hear like the origin story of Indigo where they realize, oh, you're like our long lost like brother or whatever.
Okay, so but that all happens in the first movie, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying the post-credit scene is Ms. Brown who's like, you know what? Let me look through all of the Eminem creation like files.
Yeah.
And see if there's anything else I don't know about. To see if there's any like long lost, person
that could do this again.
Yeah, and it's just like I need to make sure so like that way they don't feel like a certain way. And she finds like I don't know, like a hidden file that is just says like like purple or something.
And she clicks on it,
and she clicks on it, and it's like and the file's like not opening or something, and it's like what the heck happened to purple? And then so the second movie, they all try to find purple or something. I don't know.
We've already come up with a plot for one movie. I don't think we need to sit here and try to come up with a plot for the sequel.
But that's just the thing. But they tease purple.
Basically post credits they just tease purple like that. That actually makes sense with Brown, like the way she did that. Like I think that makes sense. Because she's like trying to figure out like, okay, I gotta make sure this doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Like history rewrites itself. So she's like making sure like, okay, are there any others that like we don't know about?
And then the third movie, M&M's versus Skittles. No, I'm kidding. I kind of want that. But that's mainly
Skittle movie next.
The Skittle movie. M&M versus Skittles. Are you kidding me?
That's gonna be the season 4 finales. We're gonna cast a Skittle movie.
That's gonna be very hard. There ain't no commercials.
Ain't no personality there. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that.
This was one of the most interesting.
That was entertaining. I had fun with that.
We had a lot of fun with that. Like
almost 2 hours, bro. We've been sitting here talking about M&Ms.
I know, and I don't even like M&Ms that much. I like M&Ms, but I don't like them that much. Man, if you enjoyed this episode and the entire season of the Metabolism Man, what should they do?
I think they should probably. I think they should like it. I think they should subscribe to the channel. I think they should comment. They should leave a comment. Share it with your friends. And don't forget
to buy M&Ms.
We're not sponsored, though.
We will be after this movie drops.
Let's hope so. All right, guys.
This was a lot of fun. Season 4 of Metabolism incoming. I don't know when. I'm not going to throw out a date because I'm probably not going to commit to it. Yeah. If you enjoyed this, please do what Hayden said, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Let me hear your thoughts though on our plot. Do you have a better idea? Maybe
let us know in the comments. You know what I mean?
Know. Exactly. And until then, we are out for now. Have a good one.
Peace.